Good morning. We're here for our weekly Marion County Board of Commissioners meeting. It is Wednesday, September 4th, 2024. We're here in the Senator Hearing Room at 555 Court Street. As always, we start with the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you will join us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Always a good way to start out Wednesday, huh? Maybe? I was in the office. I was in the office at 6:45 this morning because Commissioner Bethel had some meeting at 7 o'clock that I had to participate in.
Good job.
Yeah. That's why I was eating my burrito before you got here, so I didn't have time to eat breakfast before I got to the office. We've got a really packed agenda this morning, and three proclamations, and our first one is under Health and Human Services to consider a proclamation designating the month of September 2024 as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in Marion County.
Good morning.
We've got, who we have here today?
Phil
Phil. Yeah.
Outpatient Division Director, and Kelly Martin.
Good morning. All right, can we get the PowerPoint pulled up? Or is
Let's
that
go ahead and
there?
introduce
Okay.
yourself for the record.
Yeah, so my name is Kelly Martin. I'm the Marion County Health and Human Services Program Coordinator for our Mental Health Promotion Suicide Prevention Program.
And Phil Bleda, just in case again. We're here to seek your approval for designating the month of September Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in Marion County. And Kelly will go over some of the efforts that we will be doing for the next month.
All right, good morning. Thank you so much, Commissioners, for allowing us this opportunity this morning to come and bring more awareness to the importance of suicide prevention in our community. As I mentioned, I help coordinate our mental health promotion and suicide prevention program here at the county. And this year we're going to continue on with our theme of Life is Better with You Here. This campaign's been running for a couple years now, and we've been getting really good feedback from our community partners and the community in general as well. And we really feel like this theme reflects the belief that everyone has worth and brings value to our community. So we're excited to continue on with this. And we're going to hope that I can get the PowerPoint to work. There we go. So some of the things that we're going to be working on this year is we are continuing on with our coffee sleeve distribution. So we have our coffee sleeves that have the Life is Better with You Here theme on it, as well as information about 988, which is the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's something that people can call 24 hours a day or even text if they're struggling and need help. So this year we have over 23 coffee shops participating, including just right here across the hall. We got some coffee this morning with from Capital Coffee, and we've distributed over 23,000 coffee sleeves so far. So we have a few more to go still. We're still working on that. So we're excited to get that message of hope out to the community and to get help if they need it. For the last few years, we've been doing mental health pop-ups at different locations, at schools, at work sites, at community events, and just a few more examples of those. And then when we have Caesar, the therapy llama, join us, we always have a little extra joy that we bring with it. That he's probably the biggest draw for any of these events. So that was in Jefferson this year.
No drama llama.
No drama llama. One of our new initiatives that we're working on is 988 outreach with our first responders. So our first responders often see people at some of the hardest days of their life, and we wanted to make sure our first responders were equipped with knowledge about 988 and also had something that they could give to our community partners. So we've been reaching out to our local EMS, fire, and police, and it's been going really well. So far we have 28 of our organizations on board, and we've distributed over 5,000 cards to them, so they're out in the community giving information out to those that need it. If you remember, last time we were here, we shared a video that we've created with the Mid-Valley Suicide Prevention Coalition, some mental health videos. I would like to share our 988 promotional video with you today. This is just our little 30-second promo video, and there is a longer one that goes into more detail about 988, but just thought we'd share this one. Hopefully. It's thinking. Well, we might just send that to you so you can watch it at a different time. Okay, we'll just skip that. But this and numerous other videos will be available on the Mid-Valley Suicide Prevention website here in the next couple days. One of the cornerstones to our suicide prevention efforts is to increase help-seeking behavior and provide education. And our trainings are one of our key things that we really do out in the community to help do that. So QPR is one of our most common trainings that we provide. QPR is question, persuade, and refer. And this training is made for just anybody that is interested in this. It's for the general lay people in the community. It helps us to learn the signs of suicide, how to talk to somebody that we're worried about, and how to help get people the help that they need. And we're excited. The last year we've spent trying to really bolster our training pool of people. So we were able to train 11 more trainers. So if there's organizations, schools, work sites that are interested in having a training, there'll be some information at the end of this presentation on how to reach out and get that scheduled. And those are also free of charge to our community. And as most of us probably know, the majority of adults spend a lot of our time at work. So we have, with partnership with the Mid-Valley Suicide Prevention Coalition, have created a toolkit that we're going to be providing to some of our employers around the community. We're focusing on small employers, just they may not have as many resources as some of the larger corporations, but some small steps that are free or low charge that they can do to help support their workforce and then have a stronger business as well. Some of those things might be training, such as the QPR class that I just spoke about, or even some of these vinyl clings that we created that can go on windows or in break rooms, wherever staff or even the community can see them. And then finally, of course, we want to promote mental health with our workforce. This is just some fun videos of our Marion County Health and Human Services staff in May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, and the color for mental health is green. And so we had a Be Seen in Green Day, and so these are just some of the teams that showed up with green on, which is exciting how many people participated. I think it was a really good indication of how important mental health is to all of us. And then we're going to continue some activities in September with additional suicide trainings, and even partnering with Positive Love to have some therapy dogs around. And then this is just if somebody's interested in partnering or would like to schedule a pop-up or a QPR class, how we can be reached is at mchdprevention at co.marion.or.us. So there is a lot of movement and energy behind suicide prevention right now in our community, and we're very excited to continue to partner with our community and really make an impact to those that need it. And Commissioners, again, I just want to say thank you so much for providing the opportunity to share every year with you about the efforts that we're doing around mental health promotion and suicide prevention in our community. And we're grateful that you aspire with us to a future where Marion County is free from suicide. And finally, thank you for considering proclaiming September as Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month.
Fantastic. Phil, would you like to add anything this morning?
No, I think we really appreciate your efforts to continue mental health and suicide prevention as a strong focus of the commissioners, so thank you.
Yeah. I still have I forgot to wear it. It was, my meeting earlier was an AOC meeting, so I wore my AOC badge, but I wear that pin every once in a while.
Got you a new one.
Well, good. Are they different than the old
They're
ones?
a little bit different this year, yes.
Well, fantastic. But life is better with you here.
Yep.
And I think you made T-shirts. I think I saw those T-shirts.
Yes.
I want to say that is something that it's not just about suicide prevention. It's just about everyday life with you as you interact with people. Because of, sometimes we have conflict. Sometimes there's issues that are difficult for us to deal with. It's just a great thing to remind us, all of us, that it's better with all of us here because it takes all of us to do the things that we need to accomplish. And we know that as a county specifically in serving people. You know, we have 1,700 employees, and every one of them is valuable to us. So appreciate you bringing this forward, not only for suicide prevention, but for just healthy life and living in general. But I have one question.
Yeah.
Who decided it was green, the color? Was that
It's-
Ryan?
No, it's actually, maybe.
If it was
green
Scott.
and yellow, maybe?
If it was legal counsel, if you notice his lanyard, he would have said it was orange.
Yes.
Right?
I view these as neutral decisions. They don't necessarily have any other meaning other than maybe she just likes the color green.
Oh, okay, all right. I wanted to make sure.
That's a national
It's
color.
a- I was gonna say it's a national color.
We don't get to decide
Not everything is about, it's called.
Black and orange?
that. Black and orange, yeah.
I very much appreciate
All right.
what you said about, my mic off? Oop, there we go. I very much appreciate what you said about the value that each person has and contributes to our community. I think that's a great thing for us to constantly remind ourselves about. That each person is
Matters.
valuable and matters, and I think it's especially important for each of us to remind ourselves that sometime that God doesn't make mistakes and that nobody's like you. So there's some role you have to play in this community, in this world that's unique to you, and it's especially important to remember that on the hard days, on the days when maybe you feel like nothing's going right. So thank you for reminding all of us that.
Thank you.
Especially during this time of the year when we're going to see all these commercials, right? That people
stressful
matter.
time.
People really matter. Everyone matters. Commissioner,
Okay.
if you want to make a motion.
I do, Mr. Chair. I move that we approve a proclamation designating the month of September 2024 as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in Marion County.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, if you'll start us off, we'll read the proclamation.
In the matter of proclaiming the month of September 2024 as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in Marion County, a proclamation. This matter came before the Marion County Board of Commissioners as a regularly scheduled public meeting on September 4th, 2024. Whereas mental health is a key component to holistic wellness for individuals of all ages, families, and communities across Marion County, and whereas suicide is a tragic outcome of many complex factors and requires our immediate action, consistent attention, and appropriate resources for prevention, intervention, and postvention efforts. And whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in Oregon and the 11th leading cause of death in the United States, and there are an estimated 1.6 million suicide attempts yearly in the United States. And whereas it is estimated that each death by suicide directly impacts over 135 other individuals, including family members, friends, loved ones, and by extension the entire community. And whereas the stigma associated with mental health, suicide, and lived experiences with these topics works against suicide prevention by discouraging individuals at risk for suicide from seeking timely, appropriate, and life-saving help. And
Whereas Marion County Health and Human Services continues to implement the Zero Suicide Initiative to drive systematic change, remove stigma, support healthy communities with the bold vision of zero suicides within our community. And whereas Marion County Health and Human Services mental health promotion and suicide prevention program aims to support the mental health and well-being of our community through thoughtful outreach and collaborative, impactful, and sustainable partnerships. And whereas people experiencing mental health concerns and/or thoughts of suicide need an understanding, empathetic, and encouraging place of belonging as they seek support. And whereas Marion County Health and Human Services is committed to building such spaces of belonging, connection, and safety to support those experiencing thoughts of suicide. And whereas every person and organization has an essential role in supporting suicide prevention, reducing stigma, and saving lives. And whereas Marion County Health and Human Services will continue to foster relationships with community partners to spread recovery, wellness, and prevention efforts throughout our communities. And whereas Marion County Health and Human Services believes that life is better when everyone here can achieve their highest level of health and aspires to a future in which our community is free of suicide. Now, therefore, It is hereby proclaimed that the month of September 2024 is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in Marion County. Dated at Salem, Oregon, this 4th day of September 2024. You want a picture too, don't you?
Sure.
Okay.
I almost want to turn backwards and get a picture of everybody in the room. Life is better with you all here. Huh? We'll stand here and you can take a picture that way.
That's very good.
You get up here, John.
That's it, yeah.
Huh?
That's it. We'll see how it goes.
Thank you.
Can you get the room?
You guys ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, button your jacket.
Thank you. Usually you have to remind the other guy.
That's right.
3, 2, 1. Good, thank you.
I'm trainable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks again.
You're very sunny.
Did change them a little.
Yeah.
Very sunny.
Yeah, they're very sunny. Let's see if I can get my mascara. Okay.
Okay.
Are you gonna have two of them?
No,
No.
I don't wear two of them. But I'm going to take off my AOC, Association of Oregon Counties pen. And we're going to go on to our next proclamation, which is Recovery Month Proclamation. Consider approval of proclamation designating the month of September 2024 as Recovery Month in Marion County. Carol,
Good morning, Commissioners.
welcome.
Thank you.
We missed you yesterday afternoon, but it's good to see you this morning.
I appreciate that. I was first day back from vacation, and appointment missed my calendar, so
Well, I'm
unfortunately,
glad you took a vacation.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank
Life
you.
is better with you here today,
That's
though.
right.
Thank you so much. For the record, Carol Hurd, Marion County Addiction Treatment Services Division Director. And I am here today seeking approval to designate September 2024 as Recovery Month in Marion County. Recovery Month is a national observance held every September intended to educate Americans that substance use treatment and mental health services can enable those with a mental health and/or substance use disorder to live a healthy and rewarding life. While the stigma associated with substance use and mental health treatment often discourages individuals from seeking such life-changing help, Marion County Health and Human Services and our community partners are committed to promoting environments that acknowledge and support the relationship between substance use and mental health disorder recovery. Millions of Americans' lives have been transformed through recovery. Since these successes often go unnoticed, the observance of Recovery Month reinforces the positive message that behavioral health is essential to overall health, prevention works, treatment is effective, and people can and do recover. And I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you to an individual who is here to tell you a little bit about her journey. Janelle, you want to come up and have a seat at this other table?
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello. Oh, wow. My name is Janelle. I'm just going to read off of my speech that I wrote so I can stay focused. Hello and good morning. My name is Janelle and I'm an addict. My clean date is 3/29/24. I want to start off with saying thank you for having me here and how honored I am to have been selected to share my experience, strength, and hope, and how my involvement in Marion County outpatient program supported me in my journey of recovery. I have been an alcoholic for 23 years. Alcohol was a very big part of my life, and I depended on it to feel normal and accepted. In 2016, I married my soulmate, who introduced me to meth in 2017. Together, we did everything and have used and drank throughout our whole marriage. I loved drugs and alcohol more than I loved myself. I was what they called a functioning addict, or so I thought. I have had many jobs over the years and was fired from most of them, never thinking it had anything to do with my addiction. I tried to stop using several times. I was introduced to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous and was in and out over the last 3 years, never taken it seriously. I got a sponsor who I used for what I thought was working the program. We have remained good friends over the past few years, but on and off I dropped her as my sponsor, thinking I couldn't do this, nor did I want to quit using. The drugs were changing me into someone I did not recognize or like anymore. My relationships with my children, husband, and family were beyond strained. I became an isolated, selfish, stubborn person who only cared about one thing. I thought I could quit on my own. No meetings, no rehab, no help from anyone, just pure willpower. I had several different times of abstinence for a few months at a time, but of course that never lasted. Watching my life and my relationships get worse with my loved ones was beyond depressing and painful. Enough was enough. I wanted desperately to get clean. I knew I could not do it on my own. So I decided to make the call to voluntarily put myself into the intensive outpatient program at Marion County Addictions Program. My husband and I both entered the program on our own. Over the course of 6 months, I went to groups, one-on-one meetings with my counselor, Melanie. In the beginning, I thought I was making progress, staying clean but still drinking, which led right back to using. My counselor never gave up on me and truly invested time into me. I looked so forward to our one-on-ones and took something from each session. However, I was still not getting it. I showed up to group while loaded and drunk. I was honest with my counselor, and she was graceful and still pushed me to keep going and become the person she saw I was under the pain. There was a point when I almost went to detox and highly considered inpatient, but was resistant to both and still felt I could do this on my own. But I didn't give up, and neither did my counselor, Melanie. I had 2 mentors throughout the program, to no fault of theirs I just didn't match with, and Melanie pushed to match me with a 3rd mentor who to this day I am with in the Prime Plus program. My new mentor, Hallie, and I clicked right away and pushed me to keep fighting as I needed, as my counselor did. Throughout this time, enough was enough again, I thought. I felt I have all this support, my outpatient program with my counselor, my mentor, my sponsor, and all people who never thought twice about giving up on me. So why would I give up on myself? I dove in. Go big or go home. I decided to commit to 90 meetings in 90 days, keep and show all of my one-on-ones with my counselor, all of my mentor meetings, and confide and share with my forever friend and now again sponsor how I felt this was it and was going to be my true recovery. I found myself again. I found my worth. I started liking and even loving myself again. I started building back the relationships I thought were unrepairable. I opened up to my 5 kids and to my family about my recovery, which I had hid just the same as my using and addiction. I was all in. I put recovery first over everything and everyone. Fast forward 5 months and 6 days today. Life is amazing, and I am beyond grateful for my life today. My relationships with my kids, my husband, and family are better than ever. I got into the field of recovery and recently got a job at Bridgeway, and I will have a career and pursue my passion in life, which has always been helping and caring for others. And now I can help and support others as I was truly cared for and supported in my outpatient program, and live this life to the fullest and show others we do recover. Thank you so much for having me and letting me share.
Janelle, right?
Yes.
Janelle, thank you for sharing your story. It's important that you shared it. Thank you. Where's Melanie? Melanie, thank you. And for all those who never give up, because life is better with you here. Thank you for being here today.
You know, Commissioner, one of the things that I so appreciate about you, Janelle, and I told Carol this, that I so appreciate our drug and alcohol team and the folks in recovery in our community, is your commitment to honesty. I love that you wrote it down, that you shared it with us, and how do I say this in the most polite way possible? There are many honest people in politics, but maybe not all of them are honest. And so sometimes in our work, I find myself, I can get kind of cynical, when you see people who, don't care about the truth. They don't care about what's true. And we live in this time where we're just inundated with messaging, right? People are always trying to sell you stuff on the internet or TV. You're always getting different messages from different people. And it's not entirely clear that those people really care about the truth. They might just more care about selling you their product or getting you to do what they want, And whenever I hear somebody who's going through recovery, who's had to decide that the truth is more important than their addiction and really commit to that, it really inspires me, and I think it inspires our community. So I really want to thank you for that. I think that was so valuable to us here and so important to our community. So thank you. Commissioner?
Well, we'll take a motion.
All right. Mr. Chair, I move that we approve a proclamation designating the month of September 2024 as Recovery Month in Marion County.
I'll second that motion. Any further discussion? I think we just heard it.
That's it.
Yeah. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. In the matter of proclaiming the month of September 2024 as Recovery Month in Marion County, a proclamation. This matter came before the Marion County Board of Commissioners at its regularly scheduled public meeting on September 4th, 2024. Whereas Recovery Month was established in September 1989 to celebrate those recovering from addiction, emphasize the importance of evidence-based treatment and recovery practices, and to reduce stigmas associated with substance abuse and addiction. This initiative continually aims to increase support for those in recovery and celebrate their achievements. And whereas recovery from mental health and substance abuse disorders of Marion County residents are of the utmost importance to the well-being of Marion County as a whole, and whereas the stigma surrounding substance abuse and mental health often discourages individuals from seeking timely, appropriate, and potentially life-changing help, however, with commitment and support, those affected by substance abuse and mental health disorders in Marion County can begin a journey toward better health and overall wellness. And
whereas through Recovery Month, our community can increase its awareness and ability to recognize the signs of mental health and substance abuse disorders, encouraging individuals in need of recovery services to seek help. And whereas Marion County Health and Human Services, along with our community partners, are dedicated to fostering environments that recognize and support the connection between recovery from substance use and mental health disorders and overall health and wellness. And whereas the focus of Recovery Month each September is to celebrate all people that make the journey of recovery possible by embracing the standing theme, quote, recovery is for everyone, every person, every family, every community, unquote. Recovery Month spreads the message that people can and do recover every day. And whereas the observance of Recovery Month continues to enhance the lives of those affected by mental health and substance use disorders by raising awareness and educating communities about the effective services available. For the above reasons, we are asking the citizens of Marion County to join us in celebrating this September as Recovery Month now, and therefore it is hereby proclaimed that the month of September 2024 is Recovery Month in Marion County, dated at Salem, Oregon, this 4th day of September 2024.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Want a picture?
Sure.
All right.
You got a hand, I'm gonna give you a high profile.
We're supposed to scoot flags. He's telling us to go that way.
Because right now it's like all the way up to that same. There you go. Are you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. All right. So,
We're not done yet,
we're
Commissioner.
celebrating all kinds of really important things today. And the next proclamation is under our clerk's office. Consider approval of a proclamation designating September 17th, 2024 as National Voter Registration Day in Marion County. And our clerk Bill Burgess is here, and Philip King, right? Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners. Greetings. Bill Burgess, Marion County Clerk, with my election support specialist and tech extraordinaire, Philip King. And in the back is our interim elections manager and expert organizer, Misa Conver. Thank you, Commissioners, for proclaiming National Voter Registration Day of September 17th. This promotes voting, an essential act to giving citizens a voice, to making democracy work, and to assure that our government is held accountable and responsive to those it serves. I'd like to recognize our friends with the local League of Women Voters in the audience this morning. They were the impetus to bringing this proclamation forward as part of our tireless effort to make democracy work in our community, state, and nation. And they would like to have a photo shoot afterwards. We've gone a long way in expanding the franchise to honor each voice. When we were a young nation, only white men who owned property could vote. Then the franchise was expanded to most all white men, and in some states, free African American men were allowed to vote just for a time. The 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868 after the Civil War, granted citizenship to all persons born in the United States. In 1869, the 15th Amendment prohibited denying a citizen the right to vote based on that citizen's race, color, or previous condition of servitude. These amendments enfranchised African American men to vote at least for a time. At the end of Reconstruction in the 1870s and later, these rights were reversed, both in law and with terrible violence. Women won the right to vote in 1920, the year of the founding of the League of Women Voters. With the 19th Amendment, women earned that right to vote in Oregon in 1912 after 80 years of concerted struggle here. Women's suffrage also had abolitionist roots. As a result of the American Civil Rights Movement, the Voting Rights Act of 1965 allowed the rate of African American registration and voting to increase dramatically and quickly. This also helped other historically disenfranchised groups gain a voice at the ballot box. Since then, we've reduced the minimum age of voting to 18, at least federally, in 1971. It took Oregon a little bit longer for Oregon elections. and I'll get to that. In 2002, the Help America Vote Act required states to develop statewide voter registration databases, establish the Election Assistance Commission, develop voluntary guidelines for voting equipment, certified testing labs, and worked to modernize elections to help states reach the goal of every voter being able to vote privately, safely, and independently. And Oregon has gone further. In Oregon history, we were the first state to adopt the initiative and referendum in 1902, and the process enabled voters to consider and pass the Equal Suffrage Act in 1912, giving the women the right to vote. 52% with only a 4,162 vote margin, and it was all men that were voting at the time. It had previously been referred by the legislature twice, an initiative 3 times, failing 5 times going back to 1884. And on this ballot in 1912, there were 35 initiatives and 2 referendums. I don't know if you could imagine how many pages that ballot took or how much study it took for a voter to be able to vote that time. Ballot Measure 3, a legislative referral passed by voters in 1926, repealed Section 35 of the Bill of Rights of the Oregon Constitution that it excluded any free Negro or mulatto to reside in or within the state. I would have been unwelcome to exist here, much less vote, own property, and hold public office before this vote. In the June of 1927, the repeal of the Negro, Chinaman, and mulatto suffrage section of the Oregon Constitution was passed. It's not really that long ago. I think my mother was 7 at the time. Measure 10 in 1974 lowered the minimum voting age in Oregon from 21 to 18 and removed the literacy requirement. No more tests in our office to determine one's literacy. This narrowly passed 50.5% to 49.5%. A similar measure had been defeated in 1972. Measure 2 in 1980 guaranteed the right of people with intellectual disabilities to vote. Vote by mail, Measure 60 in 1998, passed by over 69%, with over 1 million people voting, and this established vote by mail for all elections in Oregon. Please notice the chief petitioners in the 1960 were Vicki Irvin, Multnomah County Elections Director, and Paula Crane, former president of the League of Women Voters of Oregon. And my predecessor, Marion County Clerk Al Davidson, was a super promoter in getting this initiative on the ballot. Automatic voter registration was adopted by our state legislature in 2016. Now we have well over 92% of Oregon's eligible citizens registered to vote. Before that, we were at about 65%, so it's been a dramatic increase. So, as we continue, how do we continue to promote voting and democracy today? Well, the easiest way, and slide 2, please, for most people is to go online to OregonVotes.gov, as long as you have an Oregon-issued driver's license, ID card, or permit. So that's just swift and easy. You can register in person in our office or by mail by completing and sending a voter registration form. Where do you find one? Well, any library, city hall, most USPS post offices, and our office. And coming to you soon in the voter pamphlet in your mail, coming to every residential address in Marion County, we'll be mailing that October 1st. Anyone obtaining a driver's license, permit, or Oregon ID is subject to automatic voter registration at the DMV. But be cautious. This may take actually up to 28 days. So as time gets short, do not depend on this method. Get registered by October 15th deadline using one of the other methods. And you can call our office at any time. We can help with that. Once registered to vote, you can sign up to track your ballot via ballot tracks with text or email messages letting you know when you should expect your ballot in the mail, when your ballot was received and accepted for counting, and to get a reminder when time is short if we haven't received your ballot yet. Some important dates. Registration cutoff for new voters is October the 15th. If you have already registered in Oregon, there is no cutoff to update, but you can update up to 8 p.m. on election day. But when you're going to wait that long, better come to our office to do that. Too late to mail anything to you. Ballots are sent out to local voters on October 16th. You can pick up a ballot in our office as early as September 23rd if you'll be out of town. We mail military and overseas ballots on September 20th and out-of-state ballots on October the 7th. The last day for us to mail your replacement ballot is October 31, but please come to our office as soon as possible before 8 p.m. on Election Day if you did not get a ballot or need a replacement ballot. When we issue a replacement ballot, we will invalidate the statewide unique number on the old ballot envelope. If the previous ballot envelope comes in, it will be rejected and set aside for an investigation. Only one ballot per voter, and this system has worked very well here in Oregon. Any questions, please call our office. We welcome election observers. We're at 555 Court Street, Northeast in Courthouse Square. In this building here, we're on the second floor above the Transit Mall. And call or visit our website anytime. Philip King here keeps our website up to date and easy to navigate. But if you have questions, give him a call. Be a voter. Let the light of democracy and freedom shine the world over. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Can you put the slide back up that shows where you would register to get your ballot tracked? I love that feature. I get a text message when my ballot's been mailed and when you've received it. I think I get 3 text messages, is that right? I get one that it's in the mail, one that you've received it, and then the other one is that it's being processed?
That's been accepted.
Okay.
Receiving it is one thing. That means it's in the office. Accepted means it's gone through signature verification. Sometimes if we've done both of those things in one day, by the time we get the message up, we'll only say it's been accepted because we don't need to say it's been received. But sometimes it's been received and there were some problems with it, and then that gives you a notification. We also send you a notification then if we have a signature issue problem, as well as sending you a letter in the mail that gives you up to 21 days after the election to respond, but we like you to know right away. We also, we sometimes give you a message when we've prepared the ballot and when it's hit the mail so that you know to expect it that day. Some people have also signed up for informed delivery from the USPS, where they can actually on their phone see the mail that's coming to them that day, so they know if a ballot's there. Some older folks like us check our mail every day, but we find young folks don't always check their mail every day. So having a reminder is really helpful.
When I was younger, Bill, I remember forgetting to sign my ballot. And you sent me, you were the clerk then. Mm-hmm. I was really young. Mm-hmm. You were still the clerk.
We were both young, yes.
Right. and it was that way because I had business and all this stuff. And I remember burying a pile of mail, and it went past the whatever it was, 21 days, and said, hey, you forgot to sign your ballot. Come in and sign your ballot. So I missed it. My vote didn't count.
And did you not even be able to vote for yourself at the time?
It was the first time I was ever on the ballot. It was a primary in 2006, I think. Yeah, 2006. So I was embarrassed because I didn't even get to vote for myself in the primary as a state rep. But I love this feature because now I would have got that text message to say, hey, your ballot has not been approved or whatever. So thank you.
Bill, I appreciate it. Bill actually gave me and my daughters a tour of the voting system several years ago, and my girls absolutely loved it. So I really appreciate that, showing us kind of how the process works. And I also really appreciated your sort of taking us through really the civil rights movement in this country and in Oregon and the expansion of suffrage. And one of the things that I wanted to add, because you mentioned the repeal of the Negro provision in the Oregon Constitution in 1927, is not very long before that, you had the Ku Klux Klan actually took over the state of Oregon and banned Catholic schools in 1922. And one of the most famous cases in Supreme Court jurisprudence is Pierce versus Society of Sisters, which originated right here in Oregon. And the Society of Sisters was actually a group of nuns originally from Sublimity, Oregon. And so when this law passed outlawing Catholic schools, they went to the U.S. Supreme Court, so that's unconstitutional. And in 1925, the U.S. Supreme Court found for those nuns. And as a result, they said, the big headline, the statement the Supreme Court made is, a child is not a mere creature of the state. And it established the right that parents have the authority to choose the education for their children, not the government. And that's still good case law today. And that comes from right here in Marion County, Oregon. So it's fun that you do have this progress, and you do have people in our own little place who have, stood up for civil rights and have advanced the cause of liberty over time. So it's kind of a neat thing to be a part of.
Yes. I think we're all committed to making our community and our country better and better day by day, and I appreciate your service.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
And Philip, thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
Yeah, do you have anything to add?
Not really. I'm really glad and excited to be part of this process and working in the public service. I think it's personally very important to me, so I'm just glad I'm able to participate in a meaningful way.
That's great. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Take a motion.
Ready? Mr. Chair, I move that we approve a proclamation designating September 17th, 2024 as National Voter Registration Day in Marion County.
I'll second that motion. I thought you were reading the proclamation again. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now you can read the proclamation.
All right. In the matter of proclaiming Tuesday, September 17th, 2024 as National Voter Registration Day in Marion County, a proclamation. This matter came before the Marion County Board of Commissioners at its regularly scheduled public meeting on September 4th, 2024. Whereas National Voter Registration Day is a day to honor civic unity and an opportunity to set aside differences, enjoy the rights and opportunities we all share as Americans, and celebrate our democracy. And whereas voting is the foremost right and responsibility of citizens of the United States of America, and
whereas for any democracy to work, all eligible citizens must have access to free, nonpartisan information on candidates and ballot issues, and be able to vote for their elected representatives without barriers in free and fair elections. And whereas the state of Oregon requires eligible voters to be registered by October 15, 2024, which is 21 days in advance of the November 5th, 2024 general election. Now, therefore, it is hereby proclaimed that September 17, 2024 is National Voter Registration Day in Marion County, and all citizens are encouraged to participate in the many nonpartisan voter registration activities throughout Marion County. To check your voter registration status, update it as necessary, and be prepared to make your voice heard and your vote count in the November 5th, 2024 general election. Dated at Salem, Oregon, this 4th day of September, 2024. Okay. All right. And Bill, while we were there, I checked my voter registration online to make sure it was in the right place at the right time. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Looks like one of these. Thanks for your service. Thank you. Well, here, I'll get on this side. You go. Squeeze. We're gonna have to squeeze in, turn sideways. There we go. There we go. There we go.
You guys ready?
Oh.
3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
I think we had this one. Okay.
Do we have anything else to do today, Commissioner?
Oh,
Cameron?
yeah, we gotta move this consent calendar really quick so we can get the people waiting here that,
Okay. Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt the consent agenda under Board of Commissioners, approve orders reappointing Keith Bondi Gwynn as Chair and Bonnie Sullivan as Vice Chair of the Marion County Solid Waste Management Advisory Council, SWAMAC, with terms ending April 30th, 2025. Under Clerk's Office, approve the purchase order with the United States Postal Service in the amount of $155,000 to provide postage for outbound ballots, voter pamphlets, and undeliverable election mail through June 30th, 2025. Under Health and Human Services, approve amendment number 5 to the incoming funds intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Health Authority to increase funding in the amount of $126,573.60 for MHS 17 non-OHP community and residential assistance for a new contract total of $22,869,642.65 through June 30th, 2025. Under Information Technology, approve amendment number 1 to the price agreement with Dell Marketing LP to add $2 million for a new contract total of $6,500,000 for the purchase of Microsoft products through September 30th, 2027.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Those of you that came from the private sector, we really appreciate all you do, and we're going to get to you right now. Our first action item is to consider a resolution approving a rural industrial improvement property tax exemption for Valley Fab Corporation for the 25-27 tax year. Kelly, you're going to kick us off?
I will kick us off.
All right.
Thank you very much. Well, my name is Kelly Weiss. I'm the Economic Development Program Manager here at Marion County. Are we struggling with our mic?
Oh, I wasn't sure if it was on.
I wanted.
It's on.
All right. All right. So this morning we have a resolution to consider approval of an application for the Rural Industrial Property Tax Exemption Program for Valley Fab Inc. located in Brooks. So our Rural Industrial Property Tax Exemption Program is a tool that we have to be able to support our businesses who are working to make a large capital investment in our community and then are also increasing their employment in doing so. So this program allows for a 3-year exemption for property taxes on any new qualifying improvements to the business. So the application from Valley Fabs was submitted to our assessor's office. It's been reviewed and it meets all the requirements of the program. If granted, Valley Fab will be responsible for following up with all of the taxing entities that they're subject to, so they can receive support letters from at least 75% of those entities. So as far as the tax abatement, for 2024, the project site at 10910 Portland Road Northeast had an estimated tax bill of $29,705. So should the project commence at the anticipated $3.7 million of new property tax value, after the conclusion of the exemption period, the property taxes for the site are estimated to be $77,306 each year. So as part of the application, Valley Fab has indicated that they will be hiring an additional 8 employees as part of their agreement, with an estimated final total of 89 full-time employees working at the location in Brooks. So with that, I really would love to turn it over to Kip Morris of SEDCOR. SEDCOR is our partner in helping make sure that these programs get discussed with our businesses, connecting the businesses with these programs. So Kip can talk a little bit more about Valley Fab and then introduce our team from Valley Fab as well.
Thank you, Commissioners, for having me today. Kip Morris with SEDCOR. So I was called to the table by Business Oregon to go out and visit Valley Fab, actually to talk about implementing lean strategy processes. During that visit, we noticed that they were in the middle of, or actually beginning to start an expansion with both facilities and with production capabilities. So in that meeting, SEDCOR brought to their attention the RIPTE program, the Rural Industrial Property Tax Exemption Program, and like Kelly mentioned, this program is a really good fit for them and what they're doing right now, and they chose to move forward with that. So with that, I'd like to pass it off to Sonny Yakis and John Hans with Valley Fab to talk a little bit about their history of Valley Fab and how this property tax exemption will help benefit their growth and expansion.
Yes, my name is Sonny Yakis. I'm the operations director at Valley Fab Corp. I've been there about 13 years now. The company was founded by my brothers back in the early 90s, so it's a 30 plus years old company. We're a fabrication/manufacturing and fabricating in irrigation products, composters, truck beds, structural buildings, and we support the cell tower industry and the structural side of it. In the last, since I've been there, we tripled the company in revenue, and we have an opportunity to continuously to grow. Our projections in 10 years is to grow the double the size of the company. That means supporting local jobs, bringing more jobs to the community. We're currently investing about $1.5 million in new equipment with a new building, implementing lean manufacturing and many other things. So there's an opportunity to continuously to bring more jobs, better paying jobs in our community here. John.
So my name is John Hans. I'm the controller over at Valley Fab Corp. And I more want to talk about the benefit that this will provide our company. Ultimately, we're at a spot where in our continued growth, we needed more space. So we're constructing a building, adding machinery. Unfortunately, that's large capital dollars going out that can't take effect for a year and a half from inception to actual production. So having this opportunity to abate these taxes allows us to grow into the new space, hire the employees, and really build out where we want to go. I believe that with the new building and the new equipment, we can be more competitive and create more revenue, not only for the county, but create more jobs for the employees.
Fantastic. I'm going to give a little history lesson here. The reason John, what you just said about the delay in your investment versus the revenue that comes in to help pay back that investment. The reason we're doing this, and we're the only county in Oregon that does this today. And I'll just, next time you ever go out to Willamette Valley Vineyards, the winery out there, well, you can thank Jim Bernot, who's the founder of Willamette Valley Vineyards, when they did a huge expansion years ago. And it was just what you just said. He calls me and he says, come out here, I want to show you my property tax statement. We just ended up with this building and I got this huge property tax increase. I need some time and space to do this. Well, it was too late for him, but we went to work at that time with our economic development department and a couple of other people and worked in the legislature. It took us 2 legislative cycles to get this bill to where it was so we could implement it. And it's great it's one of the few tools for businesses like yours in Oregon, or to be able to encourage those that are here. And you always hear about, recruiting new businesses to come to Oregon. Well, what are we doing for those that are here, that want to live and expand? And we recognize that our sales department, our revenue is from your expansion, your investment, not the jobs that you create. I'm going to be cautious here, right? Right?
What he means is that your employees pay income tax to the state.
They
get that money.
So by us allowing these incentives for existing businesses, and you can't do it if you're in the city of Salem. This is outside the city of Salem. So you're in one of those areas that you're allowed to take advantage of this. And we hope when you're done with this one, you come and apply for another one, because in 3 years from now, there's going to be more revenue for the schools, for us, for everybody, for the sheriff's department. But what you just said, to make that original investment, we're going to try to give you any break that we can. And we had people testify against this, right? They didn't think we should ever give a tax dollar away. Well, we're not giving it away. You're earning it. You're investing in Marion County, in Oregon, and we're thankful that you're doing this. And I know it's a little bit more work than just coming here. We're probably the easy part. You got to go out to those other taxing districts, and I'm sure Kip will help you with that. So I just thank you for having business in Marion County, in the state of Oregon, and wanting to stay here and grow here, because I know it's difficult. As a former business owner for 25 years, it's a tough place to do business, so thank you.
We also want to make sure that it's even. You know, the cities, they have special programs for cities, and if you're outside of the city, you can get the short end of the stick just because you're in rural Marion County, and so that's also, we want to make sure that folks invest in our rural areas as well.
Well, and thank you for your support. That means a great deal.
I think I toured your place with Nick probably 8 years ago or so. I think he brought me out there, and you guys were doing all kinds of welding and stuff when I was going around. I almost got blinded. No, I'm teasing.
Stop.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll take a motion.
All right, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the resolution approving a rural industrial improvement property tax exemption for Valley Fab Corporation for the 2025-2027 tax year.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Your first step is going, or your whatever step you got. Kelly, thank you.
Thank you, Kip.
Okay, next under Health and Human Services, approval of contract for services with Professional Therapeutic Community Network, Inc., in the amount of $150,000. We've been seeing each other a lot lately.
Yes,
yeah, thank you.
Good morning,
Welcome,
Commissioners.
Jen.
For the record, Jennifer Chen, Health and Human Services Program Manager for Adult Behavioral Health. I'm here today requesting approval of a retroactive contract with Professional Therapeutic Community Network, Inc., or PTCN, for $150,000 that will be retroactive.
Jen, you can pull that microphone just a little closer, please.
That will be retroactive to be effective January 1, 2024, and go through June 30th, 2025, in order to align with the IGA. The contract is to provide clinical services to individuals who are under the jurisdiction of the Psychiatric Security Review Board under Service Element 30 in the IGA. And this is for individuals who are not Medicaid eligible, do not have income, and/or services are not covered by Medicaid, but are required by the PSRB for the purposes of the individuals and the public safety. Do you have any questions on this, Commissioners?
No, I think,
No, we talked about this
yeah.
already.
All right?
You okay if we move forward with the motion?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Chair.
You're talking to me.
I move that we approve the contract for services with Professional Therapeutic Community Network Incorporated, the amount of $150,000 to provide monitoring, security, and supervision services for individuals under the jurisdiction of the adult and juvenile panels of the Psychiatric Security Review Board, retroactive to January 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Just for the record, both these action items are retroactive to January 1st, 2024 as a result of long awaited contracts from our state partners. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and you're still up.
I'm still up. The second contract, I'm requesting approval of a retroactive contract for Marion Bodanov for $200,000, which will be retroactive from January 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2025 to align with the IGA. This contract is to provide adult foster care services to individuals who are not covered by Medicaid or who are not receiving Social Security benefits or have no other income. Health and Human Services acts as a fiscal intermediary and processes the provider's invoices and is reimbursed through the Oregon Health Authority for payment.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the contract for services with Marion Bodanov in the amount of $200,000 to provide adult foster care services for individuals who are not Medicaid eligible or without Social Security income benefits, retroactive to January 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you, Commissioners.
All right. Are we going to see you tomorrow for some reason?
I don't have it on my calendar.
Okay, good. Thanks for your service. Thanks, Phil. Okay, under Public Works, consider an appeal of a hearings officer's decision denying conditional use, case number 24-006, Joy Blackman Revocable Trust.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, this is John Steckman with Marion County Planning.
Welcome, John.
Thank you. The Joy Blackman Revocable Trust applied for a conditional use permit to establish a non-farm dwelling on a 5.97 acre parcel in a special agriculture zone located in the 3300 block of Little Haven Lane South in Salem. The Marion County Hearings Officer held a duly noticed public hearing on this application on May 2nd, 2024, and issued a decision denying the application on July 30th, 2024. Based on the determination that a variance would be required to Marion County Code 17-110-800 to allow more than 4 dwellings to be accessed off the private road Little Haven Lane. The appellants disagree with the hearings officer's application of Marion County Code 17-110-800 and request the board make an interpretation of the code. Because the appeal includes a request for the board to make a policy interpretation, staff recommends the board accept the appeal. The options we're asking you to consider are to 1, accept the appeal and schedule a public hearing with a date to be determined, or 2, uphold the hearings officer's decision and decline to accept the appeal.
All right. Commissioner, any questions for John?
Just before, John, my understanding is that this has to do with access.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And that the code doesn't allow an access to serve more than 4 dwellings. Is that right?
Yes. The way planning has interpreted it, though, is to say, if a parcel is abutting a public right-of-way, we don't count it towards the 4.
And that's the case in this instance.
In this instance. But also in this instance, that abutment is very narrow, almost flag lot-like. So it kind of put that interpretation to the test of, theoretically, there's unlikely to be another driveway. But because it has abutment on a public right-of-way, we do not count that toward the 4.
I see. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm willing to take the appeal and kind of think about this issue.
I'm with you.
Good question. Good question to ask the board to consider. So thank you for bringing that to us. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, take a motion to
Okay,
accept the
Mr. Chair,
appeal.
I move that we accept the appeal and schedule a public hearing with a date to be determined.
I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Council, we're good? All right? We're good. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We'll set that up.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, John.
Awesome. Can you stay
Is this your first
after
time on
this
one of
one?
these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
You did great.
It's nice waiting for the end. There's nobody here.
You would have done great even if the crowd was there.
Yeah.
It won't be that way during the appeal.
Yeah. We'll see. Okay. Anything we want to talk about?
Kids are back in school.
Ooh.
I know that personally. That means the summer has ended and back into the grind. And the nonprofit fundraising season is about to kick off.
Oh, yeah.
I now know with all the calendar invites. So, such is life.
Well, yeah. It was a good last hurrah, the Labor Day weekend. It was nice.
Now we're back at it.
All right, and I would just encourage everybody to stay cool and hydrated in the next couple of days as we heat up to the century mark. I was listening to the radio, they said this is that we've had a few days in September that have hit 100, but Portland was saying they're going to hit 102 tomorrow, which would be a record.
That's pretty hot.
So we'll see.
I usually say though that September is my favorite month.
Yeah,
Because it
September,
usually
October
cools
are
just a
beautiful.
little bit, but you still get reliably good weather in Oregon in September.
Yeah, and even when we get hot in September, you have like 2.5 hours, I was reading the other day, you have 2.5 hours less daylight than you do like in July. So it cools down earlier, sun goes down earlier, it comes up later, so you still have cool nights.
Yeah, it's a nice time of the year.
In the middle of the night last night, my wife got up and opened the door. We have a screen on our bedroom door. And I woke up when she did it, and I go, thank you. It was warm. Yeah.
All right.
All right, Scott, you doing good?
We're all good.
All right. Other than the Beavers having a tough road trip this weekend, we'll
Who are they playing?
San Diego State.
It'll be a challenging 3 weeks.
Yeah.
There you go.
And the Ducks have a tough game. They're at home, though.
Right.
Boise State.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Do we care? Yes, we do. Okay. We will adjourn.